Traders, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be going over Shiba and some other cryptos that I mentioned previously, do a very quick update on exactly where they're at since we last mentioned them. I will periodically make videos going back over these cryptos, just giving you updates and where I do like them. Shiba is getting a lot of a hype right now, and there's a lot of mentions that I might be added to Robinhood on Monday via some of the bigger names on Twitter. However, you did see a massive dip of sorts from the local highs that we saw today. So let's not waste any more time. Like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Let's get to it.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I.
All right, so I'm going to run through this as quickly as possible. This is really what made Shiba dip today. You had the Shiba Inu holder Twitter account, and it's really ridiculous to think that Twitter moves something like this so much, but it really does if you look at the timestamps. They asked Elon how much SHIB he is holding, and he said none. And just looking back at the chart, you saw an immediate dip coming straight down to the daily level of 33 from those local highs of almost 45. That is pretty gnarly, but in my opinion, looking at that, it was pretty sketchy. I know a lot of people had leverage on this from the last time we mentioned, and when we mentioned this last, this is where we were at, getting this breakout right here from the last video. The big last Sunday, I believe, was the date. From there, obviously, you've almost doubled at that range there. And the beginning of the day, I wasn't a huge fan, but as the day has progressed, seeing the price action, how you're flagging, how you're holding those levels, it does look good. Now, it's worth mentioning as well, the Robinhood news is not confirmed, but if it does happen, it would be absolutely bullish for Shiba because they do have the crypto wallets coming very soon. That could be huge for them. That could have a large influx of buying pressure, but it's worth mentioning that even when Doge got listed, Doge didn't necessarily pump off the bat from the listing. It did make it a lot easier for people to purchase, and obviously looking at Robinhood's financials, it shows that Doge was a huge increase of revenue for the company. So I definitely think Shiba is something that will be added. But as of right now, I wouldn't bet everything on that just in the short term. I do believe it will be added, but I don't think it's going to happen right now. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. We'll see what happens. But looking at what's going on, you're getting that breakout. This is what we mentioned. So let's go back to the 4 hour, a little bit more time so you can see. This is what you wanted. You broke out. You held the weekly all week, and then going to the weekend, you saw the shoot up. And I mentioned this as well as you saw Bitcoin reach those almost 67K up here, which was phenomenal. But when it dipped, I was mentioning to other people that you don't necessarily need Bitcoin to be pushing nonstop for some of these altcoins to start ripping as well. So Shiba's doing phenomenal. Even when it's dipping, the value based on the dollar is rising as well. So let's take a look at the other two cryptos we were watching. Solano, SOL-USD. Going absolutely crazy. This is where we mentioned it on Sunday of last week, and look where you're at now. Over 200, and it looks like you're going to keep going. You're bull flagging. It looks like you're about to break these all-time highs starting this week. Anything can happen, but as of right now, you're looking absolutely bullish. Also looking at FTT, USD. This is probably the safest bet in my opinion when it comes to cryptos, just because FTX's exchange is doing phenomenal, and these utility coins in my opinion are extremely safe because as the platforms grow, the more users that will be buying these, and it will just makes more sense for people to be using these to mitigate those fees. And when you were mentioning this last, it was right here at about 55. Right now you're at 61. You pushed up to 67 earlier yesterday. You're also mounting that support. This is actually the best looking chart in my opinion, because not only did you break above, but you're flagging now, and now you're touching that support, and you're getting a double bottom. Absolutely gorgeous. Love this setup. As we progress into the World Series for baseball, super off subject, but they are heavily marketing FTX through sports as well, and so it's getting a lot of views across the board, and they're doing phenomenal on their marketing. I think FTX is going to make a run back to $75-$80 very soon as well. Those are my top two other than Shiba right now. Shiba, like I said, I think it's doing really great things. There's not really any reason to overcomplicate this. If you have it as a long-term hold, it's awesome. Short-term, if you're just playing it for, that's going to be the dangerous territory in my opinion. But long-term, it is beautiful. It has lots of room to run. I just don't think you should be holding this for the short term. If you really are holding this, I got to make that abundantly clear. This could really 10x, 20x, whatever you're putting into it. But remember how long it took Doge. It's making way more progress than Doge made in the beginning, and it has substantial room to keep running. Keep that in mind. It looks phenomenal. Love what it's doing. Has plenty of room. Once it gets listed to Robinhood, that's when you really think this thing's going to really blow up. You're mounting that support as well. 0.0005 is on the board, in my opinion. That's going to be the really big resistance. Can we get above that range? You're looking for a comeback right now. I do like it. If you're looking at any opportunity from this breakout, if you didn't get in last week, this might be your opportunity. I hate buying when it pumps. This was the best time to have it because we knew the breakout was coming. But once we see another formation like this, definitely we'll be pushing it out there for people to get an opportunity as well. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for crypto. I do want to see Bitcoin start to push back and stay above 60K over this week. Even if indexes start dipping, that's going to be very big for crypto as a whole. We have a lot of hype coming out with Robinhood. And when Robinhood starts to list all these as well, I think you could really see Bitcoin take another leg up as well, because that's bullish for crypto as a whole. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Discord down below, Twitter, everything like that. And remember, boys, we run the market.
To go cop it, I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem with